raining.
Welcome to Bubba Shot the podcast. First, the facts. Love Can Build a Bridge is a song released in 1990. It was the second single and track title from the Judds' album of the same name. It was a top 5 country hit in 1991 and won a Grammy in 1992. I'm still not sure how that works, but that's what went down. It's been covered.
It might have taken a while
times
to get this video together.
Yeah,
it might have.
Please, everybody, go watch. Please, Jesus, if you've never done it before, go watch the video for this song right now because it's going to come up a lot. But we'll get back to it later.
It's been covered by Cher, Chrissy Hind, Nene Sherry, Eric Clapton, among other people. He even charted it in '95. It's the perfect late '80s, early '90s song, which we will get into. And before we get into why we're doing it, what we're doing it, I want to cover her co-writers. Naomi Judd, rest in peace, wrote this song with Paul Overstreet and John Barlow Jarvis. I want to cover our co-songwriters because once we get into Naomi, who, as I'm sure everyone is aware, and if you're not, passed away this week. Once we get into her, I don't want to circle back to these guys. So we're going to go a little bit out of order. Paul Overstreet is a big-time songwriter. You guys, he may sound vaguely familiar to y'all, depending on how drunk you were, because he also wrote "She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy," an episode of Bubba that we will never hear that version of again because we lost it to the ether.
Yep. I did. I'll take credit. I lost it. Don't blame yourself.
And y'all are really missing out, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And we talked about how Overstreet, my favorite fact about him is that he has 2 sons, Nash and Cord. Nash Overstreet, who's a guitarist for the pop band Hot Chili Ray, and Cord, who played Sam Evans on Glee.
Oh, tremendous.
Yeah, but he is a big-time songwriter, won a bunch of awards. He's got hits with Randy Travis. We also covered him on the God song Trey hated about having a kid, but being God's kid too. Mm-hmm. Blake Shelton, Keith Whitley, and as I said, Kenny Chesney. The other one, John Barlow Jarvis, just want to give him credit real quick. What a great name, first of all. Mm-hmm. He's a piano player, signed on as a session player with, I've lost it, but some record company when he was 17. He's played on albums with Ringo Starr, Air Supply, John Cougar Mellencamp, Garfunkel, Stephen Bishop, Rod
Just
Stewart.
Garfunkel?
Just Garfunkel. Stevie Nicks, Bad Company, Cher. But he also wrote a bunch of songs, and he wrote hits for Waylon Jennings, Conway Twitty, Kenny Rogers, and Dolly Parton. He wrote Vince Gill's biggest hit and won a Grammy for it, I Still Believe in You. And he also won a Grammy for this song. I didn't have a lot of interesting stories about those guys. I just wanted to note that they are Grammy-winning songwriters. They worked with Naomi. They obviously respected her as an artist. She's got a co-write on this. My understanding is it was her idea to do a song like this. And that gets into, to me, what her greatest talent was, which is reading the zeitgeist. Go watch this video and listen to the song right now. This song came out right around the time that Farm Aid was just kind of.
I was going to jokingly say, so what famine in Africa were they trying to solve with this song? Because it sounds like
it's very We Are the World.
We Are the World. We very Live Aid. So was this an AIDS song?
It has been used as
AIDS
such.
song, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. It has been used as such, but my understanding is no. Tyler Mahan Co. has posited the theory on Cocaine and Rhinestones that almost all country music is pop music 6 or 7 years later with an accent. That every decade is just kind of hearkening back to the pop that is starting to, get over on rural people 6 years after it, comes out. Well, We Are the World came out in '85. This song came out in 1990. And what I'm giving Naomi credit for, I've called Naomi Judd the Kris Kardashian of country music, both in terms of how she created her family and made them famous, but also her ability to do PR, to work the game, work the system. She did what Kris Kardashian did, frankly, with more talent but less resources. And I think that this song is absolutely one of those. Country music just didn't have one yet. They didn't have a cause, but they needed a hit. And, buddy, she got in the studio with two masters and they pinned one.
Did you say where this landed on the charts? I know you did with
Top
Eric
5,
Clapton.
didn't you say? Top 5 in 91?
Yeah, I think it was 4 was where it ended up at. Yeah.
I don't think this is surprising. I don't think I've ever heard it.
Really?
I really don't. I mean, it might have been one of those that like I was bone in the background or something, but I didn't really recognize it.
I didn't recognize the video. As for damn sure,
damn sure didn't recognize the video.
The song.
We want to be clear that we want to be as respectful to Naomi Judd and her legacy, which is unmatchable. And this song, I don't necessarily love it, but I think it's a masterpiece in terms of what it was. She sat down to write a song like Live Aid, and it worked, and it made her a lot of money. And this video is the worst video I've ever seen.
It's okay to say, maybe you already said in your intro, but like, I mean, we picked this song to commemorate her passing, and this is a 90s country podcast. And this is
the only hit she had in the 90s.
The only hit she had in the 90s, so our hands were kind of tied. But yeah, certainly didn't factor in the video in making that decision. I don't know if I can call it the worst video of all.
Here's why I call it that.
It kind of hit for me.
I think it's better than Reba's.
Here's why it's the worst. It's because it's not awful like Reba's. Like, it's so close to being good. Do you know what I mean? It's beautiful, and it's not the worst concept in the world, and it is executed so fucking poorly.
Look, as soon as it started, and it was Indians walking through the desert, any country music video that starts with Indians walking through the desert, I'm like, I'm in.
I'm in.
Here we go. Here we go. Right. And then them two Indians turned into a eagle and a wolf, respectively.
Yeah. In the first 20 seconds.
Yeah, and then I was like, I'm double in now. We got
then
this is some real Indian shit they got going on.
Speaking of Indians.
Hey,
yeah.
Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow.
All right.
Oh my God. God damn it. God damn it.
Too sharp. Here's where we are. I know
what
you probably
the fuck
don't know.
is this video?
First of all, Too Sharp, we got to tell you why.
Can y'all turn into eagles, or is it now elephants
with 7 wings?
Yeah. No, they turn into doctors. Listen, Too Sharp. The reason you may miss it because you're also not in the world that we exist in. We're doing this song today because Naomi, one of the songwriters and the older woman in the video, is dead. She it seemingly committed suicide the night before she was supposed to be inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame, and a day before Mental Health Awareness Month starts, which is relevant because this woman did a lot of work with mental health awareness. She walked the walk. Please don't make a joke, Too Sharp. And
you know it was there.
But what we were just kind of laughing about, even if we were trying not to, is like we picked this song for that reason because it was the only hit she had in the 90s. She was an 80s and 70s star. And the songs, I don't like it necessarily, but it's good for what it is. Like, it's a come together song. It was a hit. People who are into that shit love it. But the video.
Yeah. I mean.
I think it's the worst video of all time.
Or the best.
Trey disagrees with me.
See, I'm saying, like, dude, this video didn't hit for you at all.
I genuinely think it's better than the nights the light went out in Georgia.
It's to me, it should be. What bothers me about it. All right, Trey was talking about Too Sharp, how you got these two Indian fellers in the desert speaking Indian, and then they turn into an eagle and a wolf.
And they metamorphose. Yeah.
It's just like,
the ring of fire. Yeah.
Yes.
Which was, by the way, the worst ring of fire that you could like that.
Yeah.
Dude, like it's so funny because I know that it's like, look, man, the technology was different back then, but me not being any type of professional videographer, at least the transitions on my phone, I can make them better than them shits.
Well, it's also like, yeah, I know it was the 90s, but I remember cartoons from the 90s, and they look better than that.
Yeah.
So up until that, I'm with you, Trey. It's racist, but it's the entertaining kind of like,
for sure.
You know, like your meemaw.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Like
then it just got bad. After that, like that's what disappointed me. Keep me going with that. Let's have a fucking powwow. Let's smoke a peace pipe. Let's have a sweat lodge. Let's keep this bullshit amalgamation of what we think Indians are going. We went away from that entirely.
Just two bitches on a rock.
Why did they turn into an eagle/wolf? Like,
so they could see the world. He said, "How is the world today?" And he said, "We must look for ourselves." And the only way they could see the world, of course,
the eagle I get, but the wolf. I mean, I know they're faster than we are, but like,
right. But if you could turn into an eagle,
do that. Covering all that much ground. Plus, like, they're still out in the desert. That's not the whole world. But I mean, Indians will be Indians. I guess they're going. they're gonna turn into animals now and again. You will have that.
Also, they look like they're about to fuck right here, and that's mother-daughter.
That was what I was about to say. I was going to ask you guys when this clip came up. My stupid, warped, porn-addled brain was like, "Oh, they're about to kiss."
Yeah, I definitely thought that.
Well, that's not. You said two women's on a mountain, so I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the video in general. So, Trey's walked us through the first part.
Well, I want to give my quick comment on the very first part because I couldn't tell. I thought it was a white man in a cowboy hat at the beginning. I couldn't tell it was just.
You thought it was George Strait.
I thought it was George Strait, and then I saw his for lack of a better term, slave behind him, and I was like, "Oh, this is about loving your slave."
Guys, he didn't have a better term. What
you're showing was like his son or buddy, his
employee,
his intern.
Yeah, he had a lack of a better word. He couldn't. There were none.
But then it revealed that he's like there's like a father-son thing or something going on there.
Yeah,
but it was just
an elder thing, one of the number one Indian stereotypes that we use.
Gotta have an elder, chief. Gotta have a young brave.
Again, it was problematic, but it was like, holy shit, I forgot how wild the 90s were problematic.
Yeah, it looked like an opening to fucking Walker, Texas Ranger.
And then it gets like surprisingly woke, but in the cheesiest way. Did you notice that?
Much like how
isn't that
the
what
white guy was the bad guy?
Yeah, right.
Whole thing?
We are the world.
Yes.
Yeah, like you said, it's very "We Are the World." It's just like the country music version of that. But then the whole rest of the video is just like, see, black people and white people can be on a farm at the same time
as long as one of them's an eagle.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they can play football together.
The Indian can be there as long as he's a wolf and nobody knows it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just people just like smiling at each other and shaking hands and stuff. And they got to be different colors to really sell the point. Can't have two white people shaking hands because then it's like, did they just buy that?
Means a land deal.
Yeah.
We got the railroad.
They also had a black cowboy.
They did.
1990 black cowboy. It's like, okay. But this is my problem with the video.
That's the only way they let them on CMT though. Let
me ask you this,
cowboy.
Let me ask you this.
Look at how diverse the kids playing football were. That is a 2009 move, making like that casting call. Even I genuinely can't believe they did it.
But again, I would be with you if it wasn't like that's literally the whole point of what they're doing with the song and with everything is like,
but it's just
it's very kumbaya, let's all come together type shit. Well, so if they're doing that, they're gonna have like a community college textbook version of diversity going on in the fucking in the video or whatever, because they got to sell the message.
I'm not mad that they cast it like it was a new show on ABC. Yeah. I'm mad that they did that while also being racist towards Indians while standing on a mountain.
Right.
Like, it's just a wild thing that's happening.
Wild. They took football is from the Native Americans.
I thought that was lacrosse. Is it football?
Lacrosse 100% is.
No, football football as well.
Okay.
Which is a nice little side jab in the whole thing. I love it.
There's no way the director knew that. There's no way this director knew anything about Indians that I don't know.
The thing about it is,
right.
I've forgotten more about Indians than this motherfucker's ever known.
Sure. No, this dude's just like, where's all the turquoise? God damn it!
Yeah,
nowhere near enough feathers.
Okay. These dreams need to be
caught. I've been
caught.
dreaming every night. Something ain't right. All these Indians around, and yet I remember my dreams. What's going on here?
Don't hit.
No,
I don't trust them.
I mean,
maybe I'll make peace with them.
the director or whoever made this film, like these were decisions that were like had to be planned out well ahead, and this video should have been, this could have been a romantic tale. You know, like the video could have just been about a boy and a girl kind of going through their things.
But
And
see,
they,
but that's back to what I've been saying the whole time is it's like this love will build a bridge, right? It could just be a love song, but like clearly it's meant to be like we are the world of like type of deal. And so if they're gonna if that's what they're going for, which they are, they're not gonna, you know, just do a love story thing. But also it's like what they're doing with the Indians here is it's like you know, it's like, see, Indians are pure and they know how the world should be, right? And really, we've been disappointing the Indians with our bullshit for far too long. You saw that one cry in that commercial 2 years ago, 1990, you know.
Didn't they find out he was Italian?
Yes, he's 100% Italian. Ain't even a little bit Indian.
But he thought he was Indian for the first little bit of his life because his parents lied to him, like so many of us.
Oh, well, yeah, you'll have that.
And learned a bunch about it and like got involved and then found out he was Italian. It was also a shock to him. And a lot of Indians love that guy because he like tried to get other Indians work in Hollywood. Like he was like, well, I've already invested, you know, a lot of my life into being an Indian for 20 years. He just wrote it out and is like apparently really cool with the Indians.
Right. Well, that's all right. Well, that's cool. Yeah, you know, like Indians were like, what am I trying to say? It's like this is the example that you know who knows how to live, or like you know who could show us the way is Indians. You know who we need to be better. Pedestal. You know who we need to be better for is Indians.
Model minority.
I feel like that's what they're doing in this video.
100%.
Yeah,
I have a theory on how that went down. I have nothing to back it up, but before I get into it, let me go over some of these lyrics. And Tushar, you weren't on here when we talked a little bit about this. I don't know how I'm going to rate this song. I genuinely haven't decided, but this song is, in my opinion, a masterpiece in a genre I hate. And the genre that I hate is the Live Aid, Farm Aid, let's all come together genre.
Anthem.
And she wrote this song, my understanding it was her idea, about 5 years after that whole trend started. There was no cause for the song to be attached to. She just decided country music needed one and it would be a hit. She was completely right about that. What her talent was that, reading the temperature of the culture. She's Kris Kardashian. So she pins this song. Here's the song. I gladly walk across the desert with no shoes upon my feet to share with you the last bite of bread I had to eat. I would swim out to save you in your sea of broken dreams. When all your hopes are sinking, let me show you what love means. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Before we move on to the next bit of lyrics, the point that I was trying to make is this is the only music video the Judds ever put out.
Really?
Yep. Winona put them out by herself, but they split right after this album. I don't think Naomi had time and maybe energy to figure this medium out. And I'm going to give her a little bit of credit for coming closer than a lot of people would in 1990 with a video in country music like this. Like, I don't think you should get credit for casting a black kid shaking hands with a white kid, but I don't think anybody else would have done it in 1990. You sure shit didn't see no black kids in the Indian Outlaw music video.
Mean, I know how this is going to sound considering, again, and I can't stress this enough, 2 Indians turn into animals at the very beginning of this movie. But having said that, I really feel like when you've got the song, the Farm Aid type of song that they've got, and that's there, I sort of feel like this video writes itself. It's just a matter of where you're gonna put them at. A mountain? What kind of mountain? A desert mountain or green? Let's go desert mountain because Indians, desert, the whole thing just plays better. You know, like, do you know what I mean? To me, part of the,
I agree.
I'm like, what else were they gonna do other than have like white kids and black kids hugging each other and stuff in a video like this? Having the Indians be animals was certainly a choice, but the rest
they did a bad job with the stories. Like that guy comes there to that house of we're meant to think that they're poor people, but they clearly live in the fucking Grand Canyon. And he gives him a 20, and then he starts putting his finger in his chest, and then a little girl just holds hands. And then the other scene is they're playing football. We don't know why they're mad, and a white girl, tells them to stop fighting. And then the other scene, the boss comes and yells at the Cowboys, and then he brings them water. There's no development of those stories that wrote themselves.
Yeah. You tracked the narratives more than I did. Honestly. It's just like, here's one type of person. Here's another type of person. Eventually, they're going to be all right with each other.
I want to review that. I'm trying to show this video, but we've called it now. You two have film, movie, and narrative. 3 words I would not have thrown at.
It is bookended because at the end they turn back. It's almost like a dreamscape. Yeah, it's Indians.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's like they went out and saw. They were like, "What's going on in the world today?" And then they came back and they're like, "2 white bitches are saving it." And they're like, "Well, that's nice." 2 white bitches got everybody singing on a mountain right now. Eagle Daddy, and he's like,
"We're gonna be okay."
Shit.
I forgot about how they all literally sang together on the mountain.
They do. They all sang together on the mountain at the end of it.
Which is the whole end of the video of the Farm Aid Live Aid thing. Like, remember Bob Dylan was super fucked up? That was a thing on VH1. If you zoom in on Bob Dylan, he's too fucked up to be there. And we are the world.
Do you think one of them was just like, "Hey, what do you say we just keep being an eagle?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I bet they aren't allowed. I don't want to get too.
There's probably let me take this one. There's a time limit.
You think they ever go and like
they can only do it in shifts?
Let me
take. You think the wolf one ever goes and gets like some wolf pussy or anything? It just comes back to the
this is a prequel to whatever the movie Avatar. They were doing it first for years.
I mean, if you could turn into an eagle and or a wolf, would you try to fuck an eagle and or a wolf?
Well, I don't think you got to.
Be the reason I do it.
Yeah, right.
What? I don't want to eat raw deer.
Yeah, right. No, I don't hit.
Do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, flying would hit. I appreciate that your mind goes straight to fucking an eagle pussy, and you're like, what other reason could you possibly ever want to be an eagle? And it's like soaring above the fucking earth.
Yeah,
that would also hit.
First. I'm more into the she-wolf than I am the eagle lady. I'm not attracted to birds.
Yeah, fair enough.
You're a horse man.
I've seen some handsome cardinals. Horses are beautiful. That's why we don't eat them. They're too sexy.
All right.
I can't get over this goddamn video.
I
think it ruined the song.
Back to the lyrics. Right? It does ruin the fucking song. It's the worst video of all time.
No, it makes the song better. Exactly. It's the salt. It's the salt of the song. I
mean, it don't hit, but it does hit. Does this really not hit for y'all?
It does. It hit for me.
This video.
The part you talked about, them turning as soon as they turned into the wolves and eagles, everything after that sucked. I loved that part. I'm not trying to be too woke.
20 seconds.
And there's no music. There's no music.
And then they start singing on mountains and little girls have flowers in their hands. And I'm like, I literally don't know what's going on right now. Where's the wolf?
Yeah, this video might have to be supplemented with peyote or some kind of mind-altering drug.
That'd be wild.
Yeah. Like maybe it was meant for that.
Let's get back to the lyrics. I would whisper, again, remember, this was penned by a woman whose mental health overtook her this week, and it's a beautiful song. I would whisper love so loudly, every heart could understand, that love and only love can join the trials of man. I would give my heart's desire so that you might see. The first step is to realize that it all begins with you and me. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? I genuinely think that in 1990, I'm not going to say it was new, but in country music, the first step is to realize that it all begins with you and me. That's a little bit Buddhist. I think that's a pretty fucking impressive line to have in a country song in 1990.
It's also very Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson-y.
Which
was probably 5 years before. Oh no, that song came out in the 90s, and that video is fucking hilarious too, because it's when I genuinely thought Michael Jackson. When I first saw that video as a kid, I'm pretty sure it was that video. I didn't know nothing about him, and I thought it was a woman. because
Yep.
it's just like him and his long ass hair and like a box
Dancing in the mirror.
fan, just a box fan, just flow. You know, he's just doing this shit. So yeah, this era was ripe with this type of shit.
Yeah,
AIDS,
and country
farms.
Yep, and country
Well-
music wasn't really getting in on it other than Naomi, and I really like
Well,
that line.
Man in the Mirror is just about like bettering yourself.
Yeah, but
Right.
it's like it's starting with, I've got to start with the man. In order for the world to be a better place, you've got to start with the man in the mirror, and that's kind of what this line was. Like, it starts with you and me. Like, if as long as we all do our own part.
And Corey's right, that video did extend it to that. It really did. I remember there were like a lot of kids in the video. Didn't realize how creepy that was going to sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the rap equivalent will have to be Michael Jackson's song in this case.
I don't think there's a rap equivalent to.
Love
to
can build a
a
bridge.
Yeah,
Changes by Tupac.
dude. I swear to God, in my mind, I was just going da-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na.
But the whole point of Changes is I don't see
none.
Nothing
Yeah.
Yeah,
hits.
doesn't he murders his best friend in the second verse, I'm pretty sure.
His life work, yeah.
Oh, he kills himself in the first verse. Well, now he got
He says,
lying.
is life worth living? Should I blast myself?
Blast
Should I?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
don't.
He leaves it open to interpretation.
Yeah.
He does fire his
Changes
gun
any
though,
of us.
and
He
you
does.
might think that ain't cool, but his mama ain't raised no fool though. So
Mhm.
Oh, I was thinking I ain't
he
mad
had
at
no
you.
choice.
My bad. I was thinking I ain't mad at you. That's where he kills his best friend. He don't kill his best friend and changes. It's I ain't mad at you where he kills his best friend.
He's got
No,
a couple.
I guess Changes you could sort of tie thematically to this Judd song.
Yeah.
It's like
Things will never be the same.
we need to fix this shit
Mm-hmm.
type of thing. And there's it's implied with this song that we got shit that needs to be fixed. And they're saying the solution to that is love. Love will build the bridge that fixes our shit. And in Changes, he's just like, nothing hits. And I wish it was different, but it ain't though. And you take that to the bank, and and now 30 years later, show me the
Motherfucker
lie.
spitting. Yep.
Yeah,
Should I finish these lyrics?
Yeah.
the hell I reckon.
When we stand together, it's our finest hour. We can do anything, 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 anything. Keep believing in the power. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Yeah, yes, I do. Oh, love can build a bridge. Whoa, love and only love between your heart and mine, between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Love and only love. Don't you think it's time? Oh, don't you think it's time?
There you go.
Are her other songs like this?
No,
No.
they're about
This is a clear difference.
they're about
No.
trying to get a man, or
Yeah.
What about stylistically?
no.
No.
So it's completely just
This was I'm telling you, this was and again, Tyler Mahan Co. has pointed out that this is a big part of what country music does musically. It takes 5-year-old pop music and puts an accent on it and maybe a steel pedal in there. Because now people are used to that type of style. They'll accept it in country music as long as you country it up. She did that, but she also did it with a theme. Because this theme was going around. Rock and pop was starting to do all these AIDS songs. We Are the World's the prime example, but there were other ones. And country needed one. I mean, not that they needed one, but there was room for country to have one, and she nailed it.
What was We Are the World? What was the thing? Like, was it famine or was it AIDS?
It was Farm Aid, which was an offshoot of Live Aid. So that's actually an interesting
That was
story.
Willie, right?
Yes. What happened with that was Bob Dylan, he actually got slightly misquoted. But they were doing a famine thing for Live Aid. Live Aid had been going on for a while, and it had a different cause every year. That year, I want to say it was 84, Bob Dylan said something like, we're trying to help out these farmers in Ethiopia. That's great. I also wish we could help out all the world's farmers. You know, we got
All
farmers
farmers
back home in
matter. Yeah.
America.
Sounds like Bob Dylan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little all farmers mattery.
Yeah.
He got misquoted as to saying something along the lines of, wouldn't it be great if I could help out farmers at home? He got a lot of flack for that. even though he didn't quite say it that way. But then Willie Nelson was like, well, he got flack for it, but we should help out farmers at home, because at that time in America, a lot of people were losing farms and family farms. So Farm Aid was born as an offshoot of Live Aid. And wait, I'm fucking up my stories. Is that where We Are the World came from, though, or was that already from Live Aid?
I don't know. That's what I get. I get my.
I don't know either.
Well, I've been reading all this.
I get all
and
my
putting it in
age
my
mixed
brain.
up, you know.
Me too. I've been putting all this in my brain in the last day or two, and look, I don't know. I don't know what it was about. AIDS.
Yeah, AIDS.
Famine.
Old AIDS. At the very end of the video, the only thing that the I don't know if you saw at the very end where they turned back from animal to them, and then they're like, you see, there's always hope.
It was African famine relief. That's what We Are the World was for. Sorry, Tushar. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying at the very end, they're like, you see, there's always hope. So like the whole story in the video is, I guess, with love, you'll always have hope. But
my son, I have seen the 2 white women on the cliff, and I'm telling you, there will be a better tomorrow.
I have seen the mountaintop.
Yeah.
And there's 2 white bitches on top.
Yeah.
Swanging.
So we start out with these 2 male Indians on the mountain, and we got these 2 white women on the mountain. I mean, and also the age difference is basically the same. I mean, should we read into that?
This is the most that I've ever been like, my God, they really do look like sisters. Like,
same.
You know what I mean? Like, I always knew that was kind of their big thing, and that was obviously what Naomi always wanted to go for. But like, bruh, if I didn't know anything about them except for this video, I'd been like, here are 2 fraternal twins, you know, from the same family, and because she looks, you know, not to objectify or anything, but like she looked real good in this video.
Well, and also not to insult the dead, and I don't find this insulting, but I know a lot of women think this is insulting. But I tell you what, they were fraternal twins. They had the same doctor.
Yeah.
That nose. Anyway,
yeah.
Go ahead, Tushar.
I didn't know much about them, and when I saw the video, I was like, oh, they're just singing partners. Like, I didn't think that there's a mother-daughter.
You didn't think they were related?
I thought
we all already look the same to you.
Haven't we talked about them before on this podcast?
We definitely did. Maybe that was one of the other episodes he wasn't there or something.
Yeah, did you? We did Winona.
We did No
Judd.
One Else on Earth, yeah.
No One Else on Earth.
Yeah. Winona Judd, yeah.
Well, I'm an idiot.
And we talked a little bit about her mama, but he might have been late that day too. We only talked about her mama up top. Well, for people who don't know, I'll give a little bit of background because we do have some time to fill. And Tushar, you can feel free, or anybody, but Tushar, I assume you'll be learning about this for the first time. The reason I called her the Kris Jenner, I think I said Kris Kardashian, Kris Jenner of country music, is born dirt poor. Moved out to LA for a little while, tried to make it there. Then tried to get into music. Had like a couple of husbands who beat on her and beat on the kids. Had struggles that most people couldn't fathom. Tried to break into music.
Charles like, I remember this shit.
oh, this was the bitch that got beat a lot. Yeah. Tried to break into music for a long time. Basically got lucky with someone she used to babysit for, became a producer and was like, I'll give your demo a listen, and gave it a listen and was like, oh, this is actually good. Put them on the roster. Then she had to deal with, you know, men being like, yeah, you can come on tour with me, but I'm going to fuck you. And, you know, that kind of shit. Tried to get the career going. Finally did, and rose to superstardom as her oldest daughter's voice matured, because Winona's got an incredible voice. And then that started to fall apart as Winona aged and started to realize, hey, my mom's a little crazy. And so she built this empire and then basically lost it all. And in the meantime, helped her other daughter start and then eventually get over in her film career. I don't know if you're familiar with Ashley Judd, Tushar. She's not a superstar actress, but she's like pretty A-list. That's all in the same family. And this mom came from, you know, nothing. And again, they get credit for being wildly talented. I'm not trying to take away anything from Winona and Ashley, but their mother did, you know, push them and create that world. And this was the last hit that she that she had.
From Nashville? I know that's where she
originally, they're from Ashland, Kentucky.
Okay.
Lived all over, though, in terms of that story spans California, Mississippi. Like, they were all over and ended up in Nashville and made it there.
Who is she like? Is there anyone like her?
In terms of personality or music?
Or like, yeah, like, I don't know. You can pair artists together.
Kris Jenner's all I got, because I think that her best talent is knowing how to win in media and entertainment. And I think she has more talent than Kris Jenner.
I was about to say, dude, she's more talented than
because she
Kris
can do more
Jenner.
things.
Because, I mean, she can fucking sing and write and all that shit. And Kris Jenner's extremely adept at that thing that she does. But as far as what I recognize as being talent, I would say Naomi Judd's way more talented than she's is.
She's in between Kris Jenner and Dolly Parton. She's not as talented as Dolly Parton, but even Dolly wrote a very beautiful tribute to her, saying, "We are a lot alike." In that we realized that we had a lot to say and we had, an artistic viewpoint, but the world was going to see us as sex objects or whatever else. So maybe Dolly Parton is also a decent comparison. Yeah.
And it was this song like redone, like was it covered?
Corey sent a message to us that somebody's banging on his door, so he'll be right back. You seeing them messages over there?
No, I ain't seeing them, but that's all right. I can go look for them. There they are.
Yeah,
chat. Yes, Tushar. Eric Clapton. Many people covered it. Cher. Eric Clapton had a hit with it in 1995. Cher covered it. It ended up being, it made her a lot of money. Maybe financially because of the covers. This probably was her most successful song. Mama, He's Crazy was covered a lot too. Well, when Corey gets back, we'll give it a rating. Tushar, I feel like it's not unfair this time to say, is there a Bollywood equivalent, like a We Are the World, a Live Aid type thing?
Surely y'all had that type of deal.
Oh, man. I should have asked.
Save a cow, ride a cowboy, shoot a cowboy.
It's for every single week. Tushar's like, guys, really, I can't. No, I'm putting it on us because it's like every week you're like, guys, I really cannot stress enough to you how much I don't know about this shit. So
and
please stop asking me.
Well, in my defense, I haven't asked him in a few weeks. Of course, he hasn't been here last week, but I haven't asked him in a few weeks. I just thought, wait a minute, everybody has famine. Especially the Indians, you know what I mean?
They might not sing about it, that might be a pretty exclusively us thing. Most other people, when they got famine, they, try to find food or whatever. But we're over here like, we should all get together and sing about it. That'd be good.
Did Bollywood ever do a Bollywood version of Les Miserables? Because that might be.
There's a lot of songs about love. And like the word is pyar, and there's like countless numbers, but I can't think of any that have the context of trying to say love is the answer to the world's problems, not just like I'm dealing with love issues. So once again, I need to ask my mama about these things before I jump on with y'all.
Well, that's apparently something that is across our cultures, is that we should have asked our mamas. And speaking of mamas, I think this is the first mama of country music, other than maybe Mama Cash. I love Naomi Judd. I think that she was obviously super, super ambitious, and that caused a lot of strife between her and her daughters. But they were able to forgive each other. It seemed like they were getting along great in the last few years for the most part. I know that her and Winona were doing reunion tours. They were inducted in the Hall of Fame together 2 days ago, 1 day ago, depending on when this came out. So, rest in peace to a queen. I'm going to give the song 2 1/3 Earnhardt's. I consider 2 2/3 because I do think in terms of what it is, it's up there. It is the country music version of those songs. And I'm going to be honest, the video, we've allowed the video to affect the voting in the past. And so I let it affect the voting a little bit here and knock it down. It's not a 3 because she wrote better songs.
Okay. I would like to go next. because I disagree fundamentally with one part of that in a major way, and that is, I'll give the song a 2 out of 3 Earnhardts because I agree with everything you're saying about the song. Frankly, don't hit for. I'm not going to put this on any playlist, but like you said, it's so clear what it's meant to be, and it like is very well executed and nails that thing. So I can't shit on it too much. So I give it a 2 out of 3. The video, I give a 6 out of 3. Give it 2 threes back to back. And if I was going to let it influence
3 for the wolf and a 3 for the eagle,
it would bring it up a notch or 2, if anything, because the video is all 3s, baby. Nothing. Anytime fucking 2 Indians turn into 2 different kinds of animals in the desert within the first 20 seconds of a country music video, like it's gonna hit for me.
I liked that part. I want it on the record again that I did like that part, but after that, it got horrific. We will let,
but horrific in a. It was, I don't know. It hit for me the whole way through.
Yeah.
I will let Tushar go next.
I mean, are we separating the video from this thing?
In the past, we have had videos affect the score, and I was just stating that I might have leaned 2 2/3 based upon how successful the song was, and that I think it is a masterpiece inside a genre I hate, which is Let's All Kumbaya. That's the genre I'm making up right now.
Yeah.
Inside the Let's All Kumbaya genre, this is a masterpiece. And on that alone, I would have gone 2 2/3, but the video made me lean 2 1/3. Mostly I was making stuff up.
I think I don't know. I'm confused because the video is just so goddamn confusing, but hilarious at the same time.
I got it.
And I think
you called it a film earlier too, Shar.
Yeah. I'll go 2 1/3. The song is a little one-dimensional. It's just love, and there's nothing to really follow in the story, of the lyrics, So that's kind of that. But the video is like, I guess the lesson to be learned is, storyboard your shit and try to figure it out before, because I felt like they had an idea and they went out there with cameras and like, I don't know, let's just figure this out. But it wasn't not entertaining, I'll tell you that much. That's why I didn't dip below a 2.
That's true. And I want to reiterate, I think Naomi's influence made it better. I think it would have been way worse. And I think if she'd have had enough time to make 5 more videos, she'd have figured out that medium too. Corey.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as the song goes, I think it's dog shit. But what your point that you made is true. Like in this genre of songs, they pulled it off. So like that's what they're going for. They pulled it off. I also despise that. And because of it, it's like, look, this is just heavy-handed, one-dimensional dog shit. Rest in peace, as it were. But
all due respect.
Yeah, all due respect.
All due respect. But I'm with
your reviews, man. Come on now.
I'm with Trey in that the video transcends the form.
Yeah.
And
forms.
And because the only time I heard the song was with the video, and I had to actually hear your lyrics to determine how I actually felt about the song, because while watching the video, I was so captivated by the story that the words were ancillary and meant nothing to me. And frankly, it could have been an instrumental, and I feel like I would have gotten the point better. So because of that, the song is a 0 Earnhardt dog shit, absolute catastrophe. It should never be heard on radio at all. But the video, all due respect, but the video should be projected on the walls of the Senate every fucking day. And because of that, I will give it a 2 Earnhardts.
Yeah.
All right.
That was great.
That was wonderful. I'm not quick enough to math.
Rest in
peace. Rest in peace.
I don't remember everyone's to tally the votes, but we came in around a 2 and 0.2 ish.
Between 2 and 2 1/3 ish, probably 2 1/3.
2 1/6,
something like that.
Rest in peace, Naomi Judd. You definitely made country music more interesting. You made great country music. I'm really sorry that that you didn't beat mental illness, but thanks for that video.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Guys.
Love y'all. Bye.
Love y'all.
Love you. Bye.